What's this?
Your mom's got to talk.
You guys, welcome to Viral Crimes with Jocelyn. We're just jumping in. Something's going on with the intro, but as long as you guys can hear me and you can, that's all that matters, right? So let's just turn this down right here. So yeah, and now I know that you guys are here. So welcome, you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad that we are here tonight. It's a beautiful Sunday. I tell you, I enjoyed my day all day. So tonight, this isn't a story about Whitney Houston being a criminal. I know the channel is These Criminals Are Crafty, but we also cover other things. You know, there's other crimes. There's crimes of the heart. There's crimes of the mind. It's just not all getting arrested and going to jail. So it's a broad spectrum here. Okay, so this is the story of what happened when one of the most recognizable voices in the world fell in love with one of the. Ooh, I used to love me some Bobby Brown. So I know how she fell in love, but he was very controversial. And I you know what? Oh my God. I just realized something, you guys. Whitney is a Leo. Cause I would have that bad boy persona. Listen, I love me a bad boy. Give me a DIN number all day when I was younger. But I get it now. Oh, she was a Leo. See, I didn't cover her. I was going to cover her in my Deadly Leo case, but I said, you know what? That's a sensitive topic. So I did do the whole story, got everything together, and then I said, nah, not gonna do it. But now I understand because I would have definitely be on with Bobby Brown. Hold on one second. I told you when my husband called, the phone will get answered. Hold on. I'm sorry, you guys, but when my husband call, I have to answer my phone because nothing or nobody comes before him. So anyway, we're gonna get into Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston, their toxic relationship. So this is going to be a really heavy case because there was a lot going on. Everybody wanted to blame Whitney Houston for everything or blame Bobby Brown for everything. And there was actually somebody in the middle who got Whitney going on the road that she was on. It had nothing to do with Bobby. I watched other interviews that said that Bobby was only consuming one substance, So anyway, so this is a story of what happened when one of the most recognizable voices in the world fell in love with one of the R&B most controversial bad boys, you guys. I know why she did it. She's a Leo, so I would have been all on Bobby. I thought Bobby was bad. Let me tell you. Oh, Lord, when he was dancing across that stage in them darn black horn pants, he did it way better than Hammer. He really did. So Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown, we talking about it tonight. And we're taking our time because guess what? I don't have nowhere to go and nothing to do. I do have a phone line. I'm going to wait to hook that up until we start getting more people into the chat so we can discuss these cases one-on-one. So I'll be putting not my number, but the studio number live so you guys can call in. So right now, I'm just going to ask you guys to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Turn on your notifications so you never, ever miss a live from your girl. And I want to say thank you to Kick. Thank you to Twitch. Thank you to Rumble, YouTube, TikTok, Patreon, Facebook, and X. Thank you guys for joining. So at first, people couldn't understand it. She was polished. She was glamorous. She was the American sweetheart. And Bobby was grimy. Bobby was a street dude. He was wild, rebellious, and he was unfiltered. And I love that about Bobby. Bobby was real. Bobby wasn't scripted. I really believe that Whitney was scripted. Bobby was not. He wasn't trying to sugarcoat nothing. What you got is what you got. And that's why I respected him. But Whitney, though Whitney came from the streets as well, she wasn't born with a silver spoon in her mouth. She was not, what everybody wanted to proclaim she was. She actually went through things as well. But they wanted her to come out as this little sweet popcorn type artist. But she had already had her own demons she was dealing with. But they didn't know. So, but behind those public images were two real people who fell in love, got married, had a baby, and eventually found themselves caught inside a relationship filled with addiction, arrest, accusation, and public humiliation and pain. And the saddest part, you guys, their daughter would eventually experience a tragically, eerily, just like of her mother's. So we're not going to get into Bobbi Kristina because this is not about that. This is about their relationship and the toxicity of it. And a lot of us are, not myself, I have been in toxic relationships, but I thought, you know what? I think a lot of people can relate to it. We always have that one who you just, no matter what, he give you chills. He say jump, you like hi, hi. He said bark, you like arf, arf, louder, arf, arf. You just gonna do what he wants you to do. And it sound like my mic might have went out. No, hold on, y'all. Let me turn it up. Oh, okay. I can hear it. See, I couldn't hear my own self, so I get nervous. But anyway, so yeah. So before the addiction dominated the headlines, before the police, before Bobby, I watched a few of these episodes today. So before Being Bobby came out, Being Bobby Brown, before the divorce, before the bathtub incident in Beverly Hills, we're going back to when Whitney met Bobby. Because somewhere between I want to dance with somebody and my prerogative, oh, Lord have mercy. Girl. Lord. I got to take a sip. Because when that one came out, my mama said, if you don't stop playing that darn record, Lord have mercy. And let's not forget, the collision became one of the most messiest celebrity relationships we've ever watched publicly. So that's what it is about today. Messiest celebrity relationships on Viral Vibes with Jocelyn. Oh my God. I done changed the name years, well, not years ago, but months ago. I ain't gonna exaggerate. We are Viral Crimes with Jocelyn. I don't know why vibes keep sticking in my head. I gotta let it go. So, you guys, before there was Bobbi and Whitney, there was just Whitney with the gospel roots. Sissy Houston was her mom. Dionne Warwick was family connection. There was modeling, record deals, huge crossover success, her carefully managed public image. That was the problem. Her carefully public image. It was made. It's all a persona. It was nothing about that was real. But see, that's why they didn't want her with Bobbi, because Bobbi was real. And Bobbi gonna tell it. He gonna tell it. Before The Voice, the gowns, you guys, the awards ceremonies, the good girl image. By the early 1990s, Whitney Houston wasn't just famous. Whitney was an institution, you guys. She was like something bigger than ever. Let me see what we got here. We got some clips here, so we focusing on her and Bobbi right now. So we have this before, okay? This is before. So we have 1990s Whitney to the left. Then came The Bodyguard, and suddenly she was operating at a level of fame few singers ever reach. Bobbi, now contrast Bobbi. We got New Edition leaving the group. We have his solo career. We have Don't Be Cruel, My Prerogative. What else we got? Oh, My Little Step. Oh, and Bad Boy Image. Oh my God, I love that one. We got the women, we got the partying, we got the brushes with the law. We have it all. We have it all. So let me ask you guys, if social media existed back then, do you think Whitney and Bobbi would have even made it to the wedding? Let's think about it. Let me tell you something. I don't think it would have happened because social media would have ate Bobbi up and spit him out, and it would have ate Whitney up and spit her out. They would have found it. TikTok detectives would have been on one. Trust me, it wouldn't have made it. They would have found every hotel receipt. TikTok is ruthless. Listen, those detectives over there, those are the ones you want to be scared of. I'm telling you. I do my research. I'll be like, dang, TikTok, how y'all find this? But let me tell you something. I don't believe it. Drop a yes if you think they would have got married today with all of this going on, or drop a one and say, no, they wouldn't have got married. Yes, they would have. So, I don't know. So, when did they meet? They met in 1989. And from the outside, they appeared completely mismatched. So you know what? Let's get back into some of these pictures I have. We have here, this is the before and the after. Do I believe that Bobbi got her going on this? Hey, Kick, thank you for chiming in. I appreciate you guys. No, I don't. Bobbi was from the PJs, okay? What they did in the PJs was they smoke a little bud. That's it. Nothing else. We got pictures of the aftermath. Now, I will say this is allegedly because I don't know. I saw this back then when they reported it, but I was like, this can't be real. It just can't be. Because from the outside, they appeared completely mismatched, and this did not seem real. Whitney later publicly defended choosing Bobbi and made it clear she loved him. And that's important, you guys, because that's all that matters. And trust me, if this was just a regular okie doke relationship, nobody would care. You know how many angelic women out there doing what they're supposed to do, being real wives and not just women, praising their husbands when they're doing great, making sure the food is cooked when they come home, the house is clean, and the kids are quiet. To show her appreciation because she can't do anything else. Because that's the 1920s. I wanted to be that. I really did. I could stay home barefoot and pregnant, clean this house and cook for my man. I do it now with a full-time job. My husband come home every day to a clean house and a full cooked meal, meats and potatoes. Because if it's just in you, it's just in you. So anyway, let's keep going. So this wasn't simply a case of the public thinking Bobbi had somehow taken Whitney hostage. Whitney selected Bobbi, you guys. She had the pick of the litter because let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you why she picked him. Because me and Whitney, we both Leo, so I understand her. She saw him. He was tough. He was just, he screamed bad boy. He pushed against the grain. She's looking back like, okay, don't nothing faze him. Okay, I see you. They fighting on stage because of him, New Edition, because Bobby's like, listen, I'm going to do what I want. He should have had Natalie Nunn make him a song if she was, listen, back then, that was Bobby's song. They was like, oh, you can't go out. Bobby said, who can't go out? I'm going out. And he went out. And I was like, oh, my God. He just screamed everything about thug. And there's something about a thug with a Leo. It's like, ooh, give you chills. So after Bobbi has repeatedly described loving Whitney, after she said, I want you. Talk about how dangerous. Oh, Lord. Something about the danger. Anyway, okay, I'm back. So Whitney had been packaged as America's perfect princess, and she was already huffing and a puffing, sugar booger and all. Well before Bobbi even came into the scene, you guys. Well before. Do your homework. This is not allegedly. We have people online, I didn't want to get into it, that said, which was her brother. I started her on this. Me. Her brother. Not Bobbi. So let's let Bobbi off the hook for once on this channel. Bobbi did not get her to this level. Now, allegedly, I believe that she took Bobbi to the next level. So, like I said, she was packed as America's princess. But the real Whitney, what's that? What's the nickname they called her? So she was not Whitney. Hold on, let me see. See if I can pull this up. You guys, y'all gonna hold on. You know, I've been trying to really build. See, YouTube is really weird. I think it was Chitney or something. What was? I love Kick and Twitch. I really do, because I can really do what I want over there. And they really just sit back and just watch you. Okay, yeah, we found it. Let me close that out so I don't get all messed up. So they called her in the streets Nippy. Excuse me. We all called her Whitney. So listen, when she got a nickname like Nippy, you already know she comes with a lot of stuff, okay? So, but the real Whitney, she was funnier, she was tougher, she was more outspoken and more complicated than the image the industry sold to us. Like I say, here, you got to take off your rose petal glasses, because everything that glitter is not gold. And nobody's perfect. And nobody lives in a glass house that can throw stones, okay? We all sin. It is what it is, okay? So we can't judge nobody. We're not judging her because things happen in life. And Bobbi may have been one of the people around whom she felt she didn't have to perform that perfection. Of course he was, because Bobbi was in the streets. Bobbi was just real. So July 1992, Whitney Houston marries Bobby Brown. Huge celebrity wedding. White dresses, famous guests, beautiful estate. Everything looked like a fairy tale, you guys. And it was just that, a fairy tale. Was not real. And at essentially the same point in her life, Whitney's career started to explode. And it exploded with the bodyguard. Kevin Costner. He would have been my crush too. I probably would have really liked Kevin Costner. So let's keep going past this. So we have Whitney as the whole world watches her start to break down. Where was her help? Where was her friends? I know as parents, it's only but so much we can do. So I don't blame her mom because these kids, they don't listen anymore. So what could her mother do? Hold on, I'm gonna look up this too. Um, I'm so sorry, my nose is stuffy. How's my nose stuffy and running at the same time? So I wanted to read this. Um, Proverbs 22:6 says, train up a child in the way he shall go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Okay? That's Proverbs 22:6. So as parents, basically that's all we can do. You can train them up, love them, comfort them, keep them in this nice bubble family structure, and when they hit that age of accountability, everything after that is on them. So I don't know how much Sissy could have done to control Whitney. I really don't. So we have this. This is so sad to watch her rise and her fall. Oh, that's my thumbnail, y'all. Y'all see that already. So here they are. Okay, you guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this couple. So from our lenses, do they look like a compatible couple? I know she was a lot older than him. I don't know how much. Let me look at that too. I like to Google. I don't like to play around. We looking it up. Okay, not too bad. Because if it was a man, it would have been okay. Because my ex-husband was almost 10 years older than me. She's 6 years older than him. So it's okay. It's fine. So before we have the famous guest was at the wedding, the beautiful estate, everything looked like a fairy tale. Look how happy they look together. You can't tell these two anything. But you would think that, no, I can't say that. She's a Leo. So guess what? She was just going on pure love and emotion. Everything else she wasn't thinking about. I promise you guys. So everything looked like a fairy tale. And we have her starting to do the bodyguard. So think about that level of pressure. New marriage, worldwide superstardom, touring, movies, albums, public scrutiny. It was just a lot on her shoulders. And Bobby also had his own career. And pretty much he had his own career. And he had a massive, massive ego. And he was very, very prideful. So now you have these two heavyweights getting in a ring together, coexisting together. Let's see how it's like two bulls. And I know how that. What was Bobby's sign? I'm really interested to find that out. Hold on. What was Bobby's sign? I think this is just fun because astrology, as much as it may be something that most people don't, whatever is not true. It's something in what the alignment of the stars and the stars and the quasars, whoever know. But anyway, what was Bobby? Let's see. Okay, he was Aquarius. I don't know any Aquarius. Okay, so let's keep going. All right, so and Bobby also had his own career going on, you guys. He's had his ego, his pride. Now he's having to basically go against the order. So now he's having to submit to her. So at that point, you should know it wasn't going to work. And I will tell you why. From a biblical standpoint, okay. I, I don't got it backwards. Okay. Ephesians 5:22 and 1 Peter 3:1. It instructs wives to submit to their own husband as they would to the Lord. But it was the opposite in this relationship. He was submitting to Whitney. So right there, we know it could not work when you go against the order. You cannot go against the order and expect things to be. So right there, it showed that he was willing to sacrifice his own strength and weaken himself down to submit to Whitney. So let me ask you guys a question, you guys. Can two superstars exist in one marriage? When one person, their fame suddenly becomes a astronomically, it was, Whitney was way bigger than Bobbi. Do you, it could work if there's an understanding, I believe, and the order is still there, but Whitney was older than him. So Whitney was used to doing certain things and, taking care of herself. And that's very hard to break. When you're in that situation where you have been on your own, you have been taking care of yourself, you have been making all the rules, now you're married. And it's like, okay, here comes compromise. Here comes selflessness. Here comes unconditional love. Because that's what God says we should have for our spouses. But I also know it takes a lot of maturity and a lot of praying and a lot of just getting on your knees and just saying, God, please put my house in order. And a lot of times as women, pray for God to control your tongue. Don't talk harsh to your husband. Just don't, no matter what. It's not worth it. So in 1993, Whitney and Bobbi welcomed their daughter, Bobbi Kristina. Let me see if I got a picture of Bobbi Kristina. If not, we're going to pull one up because that's what we do here. Let's see. Oh, look at her. It's so funny. She looks exactly like her mom and her dad. It's just crazy to me. So let me capture this window right here. See, this is an interactive channel. Like I said, once I get my phone number listed, there we go. You see her, guys? Why is everything so dark? There we go. So there's Bobbi Kristina. She's on our screen and there she goes again with her mom. Let me blow this up. Yeah, here, yeah. Beautiful, beautiful girl who unfortunately met the same demise as her mom by the hands of this guy. And I really wasn't going to even touch on this, but yeah, let's not give him no energy. So that is the fake family. Don't you hate when they do that? There she goes. She's got the same strength as her mom. I heard she can sing beautiful. So in 1993, Whitney and Bobbi welcomed their daughter, Bobbi Kristina Brown. Let's see if we got any, let's see if we got a fake family. Oh, look at her. She looks just like her mother and her father. She's got her mama's eyes, her daddy's, I don't know, just this whole lower part. And it's weird. So this is where I want the show to become more serious, you guys, because Bobbi Kristina wasn't a tabloid character. She really wasn't. She was a child growing up inside an incredible, complicated celebrity household. Can you guys imagine being Bobbi Kristina? Never really having your mom around. Your mom is always gone touring. Your dad is running around with multiple women. He's in and out of jail for stupid little crimes. So my heart actually went out to Bobbi Kristina because I couldn't imagine. It's hard enough having two parents that work from home and or work and come home every day. That crap is hard enough. So she was a child growing up in an incredibly complicated celebrity household. Her parents loved her, but she was also growing up around two adults who personal problems were becoming increasingly public. And I believe that little baby saw a lot more than she should have. I truly believe that. So, and unfortunately, Bobbi Kristina's story becomes essential later. I'm really not going to touch on it, but this portion needs nuance, okay? For years, people blamed Bobby Brown for Whitney's UGG problem. But Whitney herself later discussed her own problem publicly, okay? She, is and Bobby is so sensitive about Whitney. Even when he's asked those questions, he fumbles like, "Oh, I don't want to say it," because he's that loyal to her. He's that loyal. So, this is him. He's in and out of prison. She's always there for him. This is Whitney Houston. She was just an average girl, nippy, dealing with demons upon demons upon demons. The drug den. I don't believe this. Back in those days, we had things like the Inquirer and all that crap. I didn't believe none of it. So they said that her issue was Cain, Nax. I'm not gonna say the whole word. Benadryl. I can say that. She was puffing on that bud, and that's a flow days. Hold on, y'all. Flex Real. Sorry, Flex Real was one of them. That's crazy. Yeah. Let's go back to this one. So, in 2009 interview about her marriage and addiction, Whitney described the years in which Uggs use had became part of her everyday life. So don't reduce this to a story. Bobby Brown got Whitney Houston hooked on Uggs. He did not. That's too simplistic. It's too easy of a story. That's why I say to you on this channel, stop looking at the surface. There's something underneath it. She didn't just meet him and become this huge Ugg addict. Come on, you guys. So did two people with their own problems just make each other's problem worse? We had Sugar Booger, we had Bud, we had drinks. Whitney increasingly, she became erratic in public appearances, concert cancellations, Bobby's legal problems, rehab attempts. This was not something that just happened overnight with meeting Bobby. Use your brains out there. Use your brains. This was deeper than that. Bobby did not create this, if this is true, allegedly, this drug den. They're saying that this is her home. But they also said when she would go on these binges, you would never see her. She was literally stuck. So, and then came one of the interviews that changed Whitney's public image forever. Y'all know. Y'all just don't know the year and the time. Huge. We have 2002, the interview with Diane Sawyer. Whew, it became an infamous interview. The public had been speculating about her appearance, her UGG use, and Whitney acknowledged UGG and alcohol problem while emphatically rejecting the claim that she used ACK. Y'all know the famous line, act is whack. So that clip became pop culture history, you guys. It really, really did. Every one of them was saying, listen, I make too much money to be doing act. But underneath all the jokes was something that really wasn't funny, you guys. A superstar. I said a stupid star. Maybe, listen, was struggling publicly and millions of people were watching. And then we have our boy with millions of his, where is it at? Let's go back to this picture right here with her jumping around him as he walks out of prison. Okay. Bobby's problems with the law weren't limited to his marriage. During these years, he had repeated legal trouble involving offenses, probation, violation, and UGs. In 2003, for example, Bobby entered a no contest plea to, to bud possession. That's all they found on him was bud. And guilty pleas to driving related offenses. He was speeding with a little bit of smoke in his ashtray. His probation problems eventually resulted in jail time. They ain't never caught Bobby with nothing else, y'all. So while Whitney's career in addiction was increasingly becoming tabloid stories, Bobby's actual criminal record was also growing. Just stupid minor offenses, okay? So now we have the DV issues. We have a lot of DV issues. And I believe that Bobby had anger issues, yes. And we're going to look at a video shortly. But in December 2003, police responded to Whitney and Bobby's Georgia home. Authorities said that Whitney had a cut to her lip and bruised cheeks. But I tell you right now, Whitney turned into Nippy. Let me tell you something. Whitney was not, see, that's the thing that the Whitney that everybody is trying to throw on us was not the real Nippy, okay? The real Whitney. Nippy was who they called her when she got off that stage. And they said Nippy was tough. Nippy did not take nobody's mess, okay? So you know what I have not done? So let me do it now. That's it. Just a little bit of housekeeping. Skander Kabir, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. We're just getting into this Bobby thing and trying to let everybody know Bobby did not bring down Whitney. He didn't. He just didn't. Was it fire to fire? Maybe. So Whitney told officers Bobby had struck her during an argument. Now, wait, let's look at the clips. Okay, so here we have the love of her life. And here's where the relationship became even more complicated. Whitney later appeared alongside Bobby during the court proceeding when she yelled out, "Bobby, I love you." Sorry, she did. "Bobby, I love you." Years later, Whitney gave her own account. Actually, it's this picture right here, okay? Within their marriage, including saying Bobby had slapped her once and described an incident in which he split her lip. And I know she was like, you know what? You ain't doing this. You ain't bringing no money in this house. You know what? I'm making the money. I'm paying the bills. You know what? She push him. You know what? You need to do this. You out here in these streets. And he said, sorry. I'm an old-fashioned old-fashioned woman. Lady, shut your darn mouth. Go in the bedroom and shut your mouth and shut the door and go watch a movie. All this. There should be some type of law against somebody that run their mouth like this every single minute. And then your man sitting out there looking like, dang, I wish it was a dude because I would get you in a chokehold and say, cry for your mama. Degrading them, putting them down and all. Ladies, don't do it. It ain't worth it. It's your man. That's your man. It's your man. You're putting down your own man. Stupidity. Okay. So why do people stay, you guys? Why do people stay? It's not just celebrities. It's regular people, everyday people. Why do we stay? Is it the loyalty? Is it the vows? Is it the fear on what's on the other side of the door? Is it the fear of having to start all over again? Why do we stay? What happens when love, children, money, addiction, embarrassment, and dependency are all tied together? Somebody should have ran. And how much harder is leaving when the whole world is actually watching? Maybe it's pride. Maybe it is pride. Then somebody had an idea. Put cameras in the house. I got them all around mine. Try me if you want. They're everywhere. In 2005, they had Bravo premiered being Bobby Brown. Now I used to watch it. And instead of repairing their public image, viewers got an unprecedented look at chaos, argument, crude humor, Bobbi, Whitney, family dynamic, Bobbi Kristina. It was horrible. It was literally an ish show. It truly was. It was reality TV before celebrity reality TV became what it is today. I'm going to tell you, Bobbi and Kristina is like Krishan, Nevaeh, and Blueface in their time. Real unscripted. They was in there arting and this. It was a crap show, okay? So did being Bobby Brown expose their problems or exploited them? I think it did a little bit of both, you guys. Put in the chat which one. So in 2006, Whitney moved towards ending their marriage. Their divorce became final in April 2007. Whitney received custody of Bobbi Kristina. 15 years of marriage was finished. And for Whitney, this became her comeback chapter. Sobriety, new music, a new album, trying to reclaim the voice and woman the public remembered. But let's show you how they got down together as a married couple, as they should. Let's watch this.
Well, I heard from NBC, your mom's got a talk show offer. She's a riot. You guys are like Burns and
Oh, wait, hold up. Why you gonna call my mom a riot? Boom.
She was a trip.
Oh, she was a trip.
She was great.
My mom was a trip.
No.
My mom was real. Let me just tell you like that. My mom was real. She was coming from the heart. If you can't respect that, then you shouldn't have been here, all right?
I do respect it. Now, can I ask you something?
Yeah, please do.
I'm gonna step out because my wife speaks different.
Okay. What was the question
Well,
that
I
he
heard
asked
from
them?
NBC, your mom's got a talk show offer. She's a riot.
Hold
you
on.
guys are like Burns.
Let's pause this. Let me see if I can close caption this. Oh God, why is it not in English, you guys? Hold on. Let me see.
Oh, wait, hold up.
Let me see if I can get this in English. Subtitles, it says English. English. Let's see. Yeah, okay. We got it to English, you guys. Okay, hold on. Let's go back.
Well, I heard from NBC, your mom's got a talk show offer. She's a riot. You guys are like Burns and
Oh, wait, hold up. Why you gonna call my mom a riot? Boom.
She was a trip.
Oh, she was a trip.
She was great.
My mom was a trip.
No.
My mom was real. Let me just tell you like that. My mom was real. She was coming from the heart. If you can't respect that, then you shouldn't have been here, all right?
I do respect it. Now, can I ask you something?
Yeah, please do.
I'm gonna step out because my wife speaks different.
I think it's very special, and I thought this would be a very special night for my husband.
You guys, I truly just think they were just fire and fire. There was nobody talking nobody off the ledge. There was nobody saying, hey, baby, calm down. Because I know with me, when I see my husband get elevated, I'm like, baby, it's cool. Baby, look at me. We good. Chill out. Where is that? She didn't do that. See, I would have turned, listen, let me teach you good lady something. When your man is acting crazy, and they all do, they yell, scream, holler, curse, hoot, and holler. Grab his chin and say, baby, I love you, and kiss him. So, oh, okay, baby. I watch a man go from 100 to 2 real quick. Just like he can go from 0 to 100, he can go from 100 to 0. I promise you. You let him get all his frustration out, whether it's about you, the kids, the household, whatever, finances, whatever. When he gets done hooting and hollering, you grab his chin. You say, baby, I love you. We good. What you want to eat? And you go cook your man a meal, and he will pipe down, go in his man cave on his bed and wait for his meal. So all this old toxicity, let it go. And all this marriage things falling apart, and you married 1 year and then you go to, come on, you guys. And women, stop marrying husbands, and husbands, stop marrying women. Every woman that is born a female is not meant to be a wife. There are women that are just meant to be women. So what happens is you get a husband and he's ordained by God to be a husband, not just a man. And then he marries a woman. He wonders why she's not holding up her end of the bargain. You're expecting a wife out of just a woman. She was not ordained to be a wife. So be more selective and find yourself a wife that knows the order, that is going to make you feel peace every time you go home. And you don't have to talk to her and ask her because she already knows. That's a wife. Then you marry yourself a woman. You come home from work. She's sitting on her back. Where we about to eat at? Where we about to eat at? Kids yelling and screaming. Dishes piled up in the sink. Waiting for you to come home and fold up clothes. And you like, yo, what is going on here? You just made the wrong choice. So can you fault her? No. You fault yourself. Because you take more time figuring out what shoes you wearing to the club than picking out who you're going to lay on their back and spread their spaghetti straps and have children with. Don't get me going on this story because I can go for days on this. Yo, y'all, men, you guys, this is all on you. Nothing works without you. When do you guys get this? Like you are the highest person in the cards. You are the king on the chessboard. If things is not working, it's your fault. It's your fault. You're a passive man. Don't be a passive man. Don't be a simp when it comes to your family. Put your foot down. Because us women, we run on emotions. We do make a lot of bad decisions because we're like, wake up crying one day. Oh, I'm postpartum. I'm menstrual. No, that's why it's the man's job. You guys, stop letting these women run everything while your whole life fall apart. And then you blaming her. It's not her fault. It's your fault. And Bobbi allowed Whitney to run everything. He came in there like, yo, I'm Bobby Brown. He big man. And she put a cap on him and said, yo, now, no, it's my world. You're going to cook clean for me. You're going to do my laundry. That's not how it's supposed to work. And once that starts happening, you're going to be the most unhappiest man on the earth. Come on, y'all. Let's keep going with this. Let's look at this darn stupid video of him with his dumb self.
Yeah, please do.
I'm going to step out because my wife speaks different.
I think it's very special, and I thought this would be a very special night for my husband.
My mama tripping.
See me? I would have said, listen, turn the mic off. Listen, we good right now. We're going to keep it moving. Unfortunately, this has come to an end. I'm not going to feed into it. Not feeding into it. Not when it comes to my man. That's not happening. I can make him look stupid. We out of here.
Come on, man. You at my birthday party. My mama tripping. Turn off the camera.
It's ridiculous.
We're learning more tonight about the dark and final.
Hold on, y'all. Let me see what else we got. There was something else I wanted to. Let's see. I don't like to really show these who made this because they will copy strike my page. So I'm trying to find a short, you guys. This was another joker right here. This whole Ray J thing with her, I don't understand. Hold on, let's see what we got here. It says Whitney Houston reconciled. Hold on, let me see if I can blow it up here. so I can read it. It says, Whitney Houston reconciled with her brother 6 months before she passed. Whitney Houston and her brother Michael fought addictions together. He confessed that he was the one that started her on her addiction. It wasn't Bobbi. Let him off the hook. She introduced Bobbi to this mess. And that's why right now he's got the jaw lock and all this stuff. She did it to him. He went to jail for having bud in his car. So it said Whitney Houston and her brother Michael fought addictions together for years. But life pulled them apart. Michael got out of hell first and trying to help his sister, but she pulled away in pain and pride, telling him, "You're judging me." In 2011 from a rehab clinic, Whitney called him for the first time and said, with a broken voice, "I'm sorry for not listening to you." That moment opened a door that seemed closed forever during the last 6 months of her life. They managed to recommend, talk, cry, and heal, but he did this to her. He did this to his sister. He admitted it and she admitted it. And people want to just ignore all of this and blame Bobbi. She got Bobbi addicted, y'all. Whitney was no baby in this situation. Like I told you, she was nippy from the streets. All right, y'all, let me see. What else we have? We got, let me go back. I want to touch on this whole Whitney and what's his name? Ray J and his stupidity. Now we have her girlfriend. What was her girlfriend name? I can't remember her name, but let's look. Let me see. This was a sad part. I don't like to watch things or pull up stuff that's like NBC because they'll shut my channel down. So I gotta find something else. I can't play her music. We're not doing that. Ray J said that it was his fault. You know, sometimes we say things like that people will misconstrued. Hold on. Let's skip it.
Me cry. But when I walk, cry. That's so funny. Oh my God.
Okay, here we go.
Oh my.
Now, they say that he did leave the hotel. They did say that he was the one that gave her the substance. And maybe that's why he took it the hardest during her funeral. And I'm going to play that too. Can I type today? Let me get down here so I cannot. Maybe this is a good one. Okay. Okay, now watch. Now I don't like how they threw that cat. Look at Bobbi. Right, I mean, look at. And I'm gonna move myself out this corner. Hey, you guys, just look above. Is my Cash App. Donate to the channel so we can make it better. Over here is my tip jar. Listen, you can't get time back. And I love being here with you guys. And I'm building this community and I'm so excited about it. So you know what? Tip your girl every now and then. So let me move myself out of here so we can, I'm going to put myself up in this corner. I want to see Bobbi's full reaction. Here we go. Let's go back. I hate that the song is playing. Now, there was something that was really interesting that I did hear, and it was a voice message that Kim Kardashian. I can't see either. Which was really weird to me. That she left this message to him. And I just heard it today. Voicemail, let's see.
Ray, it's Kim. I just want you to...
Let me put up the captions, okay? Let me go back. Now listen to this. Let's listen to this. Oh, God. Hold on, let me get my face up out of here. Let's put it there. Hold on. Okay.
Ray, it's Kim. I just want you to know that I think you are so disgusting and desperate. Who leaves their email address on their machine? You clearly want people to call you, but yet you won't call me back. And actually, you know what? Don't call me back. Don't ever call me back. I never want to talk to you ever again. I think you're honestly a sick human being, and I think you are just so desperate that you'll do anything for attention, and you're just so disgusting. Honestly, so, have fun with...
If you notice how small her vocabulary is, all she's an airhead. Like, there's just nothing up there. I know she has a whole tribe of people who do everything for her, because listen to her vocabulary. It's this big. She keeps just regurgitating the same thing over and over and over again. I'm like, lady, hold on.
Tag Whitney Houston. She's so...
She said she meant to say told Whitney Houston. It's, closed caption is weird. Like, she's so sick.
And crack is definitely not whack with you guys, because you are just honestly makes me laugh on how disgusting you guys look. You're in Vegas with Whitney, and you need to go.
You think she's just a little jealous, you guys? Just a little jealous? I don't know. But I do know that these Kardashians, be careful of them. They're not normal people. Listen to the way they talk. They have drank the Kool-Aid times 10. I'm telling you, there's just nothing there's just nothing. There's just nothing that anybody can do. They are in it. They are in that society. They are the society. They did anything that they could. And they are in it. So to hear her talk like this about this poor woman. Let's keep going, y'all. Let me see where I'm at.
Hang out with your old friend, and it's not right, but it's okay. I'm definitely gonna make it anyway, because you guys are just disgusting and sick, and stop you're with her. I don't understand it. She's so old and sick, and you are just sick and desperate, so leave me the alone and stop calling me.
She yelling, leave her alone, and she's the one that sat up here and left a 30-minute message. Come on. See, that's what people do. They get on the phone, they call you, and then they start saying you bothering them. Wow. Listen to her scream. She's unhinged. She has no control of her emotions. She is just a mess. Let me tell you something. This is how much she hates him. It's because of him. She is who she is today. Without Ray J, those Kardashians would have been nothing. All those contracts, everything. We ain't gonna go that deep into it, but let's keep going on Whitney Houston, okay, and Bobbi, because that's what this is about. Their toxic relationship. So Whitney returned. She returned to music. She was the voice. She was getting back to what we thought, what they sold us about her. But she was still Whitney. And this section should not be jokes, you guys, because this gets deep. Talk about what it must take to attempt a comeback while millions of people are analyzing your appearance, your voice. This is where this picture comes from. Let's take it off of this. Because now we're in a whole nother place with her. Now she's trying to come back. Where's that picture? Hopefully I have it. No. Do I not have it? Hold on, guys. No, I don't have it. What the? Oh, my God. I do not have it, you guys. But it's the picture of her. And she's very, very emaciated. Very, very thick. There it goes. Okay. Just think about the pressure that she was under to have to perform again. So now they're analyzing her appearance, her voice, her mistakes she made. So this was a woman trying to rebuild. Not only did the foundation crack, the foundation crumbled. Then came news nobody wanted. Whitney Houston was found submerged in a bathtub at the Beverly Hills Hotel. She was 48. She's 48. The Los Angeles County coroner ruled her passing as an accidental drowning with arteriosclerotic heart disease and AIN use listed as contributing factors. Authorities found no evidence of foul play. So we're not implying Bobbi didn't do nothing. Bobbi didn't do anything. He wasn't even there. So let's just take that off the thing. They had their marriage. It just was what it was. Nippy came in with who she was. He came in with who he was. And together they became what they were. Okay. So what you can discuss is the long history of her addiction that surrounded both of their lives. She had a long history way before Bobbi. Bobbi was performing when Whitney passed. He was devastated. And despite everything that happened between them, they had shared nearly 15 years of marriage and a child. So that history just doesn't disappear because a divorce decree gets signed. It just doesn't. It's a soul tie. It's really a soul tie. You have children with somebody, especially if you have children with somebody that you're in love with. I'm not talking about just somebody that you're out here just screwing and they happen to get pregnant. No, I'm talking about somebody that you were in love with, that you knew that was in love with you. It's a soul tie that nobody can break. And then there's Bobbi Kristina, you guys. This is where the story becomes almost unbearable for me. So 3 years after Whitney's passing, Bobbi Kristina was found unresponsive in a bathtub. And I'm not showing no pictures of that. In her Georgia home. She was only 21. She was found. She remained hospitalized and later in hospice care. Now, let me tell you this, what I've heard in the streets allegedly that Bobbi Brown reached out to a holistic doctor or whatever they call him, may not be a doctor, but somebody that practices treatment with holistic means, I guess. And he said that she began to breathe on her own. She was sitting up. She was talking. And then somebody that's in their family had way more control than they should made them remove him. And there's videos of him crying. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on, y'all. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. He did a interview that I happened to come across, and he spoke about the treatment that he did, how Bobbi reached out to him. I need to get ready to finish this up because I'm going to head on to Kick and Twitch and join. Okay, here, hold on.
They stabbed her to death. That was so sad because
I feel like she didn't have to die.
she didn't have to.
Why can I watch this? Let's see. Okay, here we go.
Die. She did not have to die. The doctors told us
They wanted her to die.
that she would be fine. The doctor said, give it 6 months, she's getting better. I did things with Chrissy. I did pressure points and different things, and Chrissy's eyes were opening and she was responding to everything that
Hey, Detonator, thank you for joining on TikTok. Appreciate you. Like, share, and subscribe. Become part of this family.
Lady attorney, they don't care about Chrissy's life.
I know they don't.
All they cared about was the money. They wanted money. They didn't care about Auntie Whitney. They just wanted the money. It's about that money.
Yep.
Get them up.
Everything is about the money.
It's all about money.
Now, this right here is actually Bobbi Brown's sister. She was the one that was really spoke out. But let me get to this guy right here. Let's skip that.
The situation got to a point where there was a final decision made. And the doctor said to me one thing. They said by the Georgia state law, if Pat Houston and Bobbi Brown both agree, they said, Dr. Jolly Harris, you can continue. They asked Pat Houston, what's your decision? Pat Houston says, my decision is to let her peacefully pass.
Why? Now, Pat allegedly had a huge financial stake in her passing. Okay. Now, mind you, when Whitney died, she was already controlling Whitney's estate. Pat was. Pat is her sister-in-law. They were very, very close at one point, but allegedly during the years they had a falling out. But she was in charge of her estate. So she was the person that was distributing the money to Bobbi Kristina, only allowing her to have certain amount of money. She was paying the bills and doing all that stuff. So with Bobbi Kristina being gone, she then becomes the head of everything else. So the fact that they were able to get her up, like the sister said, Bobbi's sister said, doctor said she's going to be okay. This holistic doctor comes in. He's seeing like all this stuff. She's sitting up. She's asking, where's my father? She's talking. She's actually, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going, you guys.
Away. She said, my reason for saying this is because I know her. Pat Houston said that I know Chrissy better than anyone. She said she would not want to live if she could not sing and dance. She would not want to live if she knew she was going to be paraplegic or left in a bed in a hospital for the rest of her life. She said she would not want to live. That's the exact words Pat said.
Hard decisions, obviously, to be made when somebody is in a vegetative state. The hospitals and the doctors look for brain activity, whether or not this person has any real, possibility of ever coming back and having anything like a normal type of life. But the main thing is brain activity. But there are other factors. They're looking whether or not the organs are shutting down, what pain the person is in, etc.
SPO2s was 97, okay.
To finish what I came there to do. Pat Houston is the person that I say put the nail in the coffin. She put the nail in the coffin by telling these people to let Bobbi Kristina die.
They was plotting to just destroy Chrissy. This is what it's all about. This is why Whitney died. This is why Bobbi Kristina died. Because those close to Whitney want her money.
You guys, this is allegedly, okay? We don't know. Nobody really knows why Whitney passed. So Bobbi Kristina, she remained hospitalized and later in hospice care before passing at the age of 22 in July of 2015. The medical examiner said immersion in water and UGG intoxication led to a medical complication that caused her passing. But the manner of passing was classified as undetermined. Even though there was so many witnesses around in that house that could have said what it was, but they did not. So her partner, Nick Gorgon. Now, let me explain to you who Nick Gorgon was. Nick Gorgon actually was Whitney Houston's godson, which makes him Kristina's god brother. Now I got a god brother, and in my heart, he's my brother. I can't imagine going into then having a relationship with him. And that's what she did. So we got Nick Gordon was never criminally charged in connection with her passing, although he was later found legally responsible in civil wrongful death case. And I believe that Bobbi Brown brought that case on. Nick's Nick, I don't no, we're not gonna say that because we're not sure. So did Bobbi destroy Whitney, you guys? No. Did Whitney and Bobbi destroy each other? Yes. Or were they people just struggling with addiction and dysfunction who loved each other but were unable to save one another? Yes. Because I think reducing Whitney Houston's entire downfall to Bobbi is unfair. It's unfair. Whitney was a grown woman, you guys. Whitney was not a teenager. She was older than Bobbi. She wasn't a teenager. She could have said to him, nah, bro. They both made the choice. They both struggled. They both experienced consequences. And they both, they love their daughter. So this story is not, doesn't need a cartoon villain. We're not trying to villainize neither one of them because this is real. Addiction is real. Okay. It's just tragic enough without creating one. Okay, you guys. So Whitney legacy should never begin or end with Bobbi Brown. It's unfair. It should never begin or end with addiction. It should end and begin with her brother. And it certainly shouldn't begin or end with the bathtub she passed in. Whitney Houston was one of the greatest voices this world has ever heard. She was a daughter. She was a mom. She was a woman of faith. A complicated human being, yes. Bobbi was part of her story, a huge part. But he was not her entire story. He was not the beginning of her story. And he was not the end of her story. He was not the end of it. She wasn't with him when she met her demise. And maybe that's the lesson tonight. Sometimes two people are genuinely, we can love each other and still be absolutely terrible for each other. Sometimes love isn't enough, you guys. Sometimes leaving is survival. And sometimes the people standing on stage looking like they have everything. They're fighting. We never imagine, okay? And sometimes the people, they're on them stage looking like the perfect people. We just, what I'm trying to say is that what we see is not always what it is. How about that? Does that clear that up? I don't know why I'm trying to sugarcoat it, but I can't see nothing, you guys. But yeah, so this is a story that's just way beyond us, okay? So anybody that watches my channel, I like to end it with a prayer. So Heavenly Father, tonight we just pray for every family affected by addiction, the DV and loss, you guys. We just pray for that. We pray for the people suffering publicly and the people suffering silently behind closed doors. Give those who need the courage to seek. Give those who need to leave the strength to leave, Father God, and resources to do so. Give family wisdom to recognize, you guys, Father God, when love has turned into enabling. Lord, we ask you to give every single person the power, the energy to stand up against what is wrong. And we pray for the viral crimes with Jocelyn family. And we continue to ask you, Lord, to give us the right content and make sure that the content that we do share is something that can help somebody else. And Father, we recommend that those that are watching to make sure that they read their word and it will strengthen them in Jesus' name. And we also, we ask you to comfort everybody that's been through this and continue to take care of those that are watching tonight. And may they come back tomorrow. In Jesus' name we pray. Thank you, guys. But if you were here, welcome to Viral Crimes with Jocelyn. We're talking about, we talk about crime, people, fame, the mess, and most importantly, what happened when the cameras stop rolling. So please like, share, and subscribe to my channel and turn on your notifications so you never miss a live from your girl. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys, and we love you here, and we'll see you back very, very soon.